Well, here we are. Monday the 12th. I believe it is, anyway. Yeah. I did look at a video last night into the wee hours. It's called Two Lees in a Pod. And it was, it's always, I've looked at it a couple of times. But it's always been informative. It has a creators that have that put up videos that show truth, at least backed up with documentation of some kind, whether it be pictures, witnesses, and or videos. And I thought, that's kind of refreshing. And they just don't show you a sentence in the middle of a lot of a conversation. They're not doing any cherry picking. They actually give you the wholesome look of truth. That's the way I look at it. That's a hard thing to find today. Last night's was pretty darn good, I thought. And what little time I was able to spend there, I was pretty happy with. And I did look at something else before I got there. And I seen some correlation where actually the two, in a manner of speaking, were talking about each other while they're still hot on the air. The one was trying to use, what I'm thinking, acting skills to get a point across. And from what I could see, it left a lot to be desired. It was somewhat hammy. It didn't measure up to what I consider a video of recognition. Anyway, I cut short. I went over to two leaves in a pod, and found something very refreshing. It was one of those that's hard to leave it and go on to bed. A shout out to you over there. You did a good job. They had Bruce on there, the lawyer. Gator Man was there. He has firsthand knowledge of a lot of actions that they were talking about. And he's very articulate about it. He can name names and places, and he's been there. So, like I say, it was a good one to go to. Super Dave was there. Yes, sir. And I'm going to be on the air tomorrow with Super Dave. And it looks like he's got it set for 6:15 Central Standard Time. As far as I know, that's the one that I'm going to go with at this point. If not, you can always look at Super Dave's channel and Midtown's Best, and you can see what he's got on there for the very latest. Everything is subject to change. It's a changing world, and a lot of things are out of our hands. We just kind of have to go with the flow, and that's what we'll do on this one. Ooh, the other day I got kicked off my channel. That's hard to believe. That's okay. I wondered what the channel was about, so I decided to check it out. And of course, that didn't last long. It was about 5 minutes, if that. But I was able to do a little research, because when I went over to watch the Two Leaves in a Pod, that happened to be one of the subjects last night. Wow-wee, did I find out some stuff. This guy, you got to look at the video that was put up, is all I can tell you. But he has a different perspective on children than I would say 99.9% of the people have. It was that bad, yes. He also has a funny perspective about life in general, and he likes to make threats. Underlying threats So at least I know what I'm dealing with, right? Uh-huh. Well, I've known a few people, believe it or not, from there. Well, he's here in the United States, I guess, now. Open border thing. But the Aussies I seen didn't act quite that way. So I know it's not the way the country is. Just this guy is. So if he's coming down the road, don't do like he told this other guy to do. He said, just pull over. Pull the semi over. You wanted this guy. Well, it would put people in jeopardy if he did it like he said. Pull over to the middle of the road. Just do it. Sometimes people get on there and they give advice that is terrible. When you hear it, you think there's something wrong there. You almost think there's a screw loose, but there's nothing mechanical about it. I'm just telling you, it's psychological. Well, that's enough on that. It is, like I'm not supposed to do, it is what it is. I don't like that saying. In this instance, it is. Oh, yeah, Super Dave. Now, I look forward to talking with you tomorrow night. And should be somewhat fruitful, I would think. After looking at the program last night, I think it'll be kind of enjoyable for you and I and the people who want to come by and chat. Dave has opened up the chats out there. My understanding, there may be some moderators to curtail anything that's really bad, which I would hope that we don't get too many people that like to break windows. Nasty words, things like that. Make threats. No, we don't want that. So we just want to have a friendly chat. Yeah. Believe it or not, you can put a channel on with friendly chat. It works. Some of the videos, when you're looking at them, especially lately, and they show all this fighting, and you say, gee whiz, how can a fight between two neighbors go as big as what this has in Otter Creek? How can that happen? I don't have a good answer for you. I do know that it drew in a lot of people. We're talking probably, maybe 100 or more people that have nothing more than a computer like I'm doing right now, that have said something about it in one way or the other. It was made interesting by the amount of people that grabbed it. And we're talking lawyers and people, whether they be desktop warriors, desktop reporters, hobbyists like I am. I'm a hobbyist. We're all there and giving our opinion. And this old guy is going to get off the tracks here pretty quick on that. Not this minute I'm talking about, but in general, unless something would really pop up, I've just about run the course of what I can do on this channel. I was hoping that a few people, and maybe a few people did get it, would kind of shake the crap off and look at it for what it is and take some of the drama out of it and solve it. Could be solved very simply and very quickly. All the rock throwing, all the mud slinging, and all that stink. We're talking about a lot of people that gathered around, and a piece of it hits you, whether you're a listener or a creator of substance here. And you find yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the muck of whichever side you might be on. I hate to see that because it changes a person's personality, makes them want it more, becomes a habit. So for all you out there that wish for better times, I think it's coming. Better times are coming. But you got to choose that path that you want to get those better times there. You can't hate your city administrators, and you can't hate the supervisors of your county, and you can't hate everybody that wears a uniform, such as your local police or the sheriff's department or the state legislators. It's a slippery path when you get to hating and talking about all these people. There's a lot of good out there if you look for it. But if you put a label on everybody, don't expect those same people to come in and help you. A few days ago, more than a few days ago, there actually was a video out there that was completely, as far as I'm concerned, unbiased. It showed a happening. It showed it somebody that had lost their ability to control herself. And the police were called, and when they came out, there was a video of the whole thing. And the video, the moderator in there was very unbiased and did a good job, I thought. Matter of fact, I would say it's one of the best jobs I've seen yet because they left their opinion out of it. And the film, depending on which perspective you have as a viewer, made it look as if the police were overbearing. And some said, well, the perpetrator got what he deserved. Now, they had picked this guy up before, so they knew what it was going to take to get him into the police car. The guy spit on him. I want to tell you something. If you think you can spit on an officer in uniform and get away with it, you got another thing coming. For one thing, it's a felony. But, you know, this isn't the day comes where you don't turn your cheek. And so for all the liberal people out there that's seen that thing, I want you to think a little bit about this. In that little town, you've had people that did nothing but climb all over the police, or actually the department, sheriff's department, because they were doing nothing. And then when they do something, they do too much. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's disappointing that we take the two perspectives of the same department, of the police in uniform, that are performing their duties. And then we hate on the person that took the film, not even knowing the story. Shame on you. I'm not going to go over this thing because I've went over it before. Everybody out there has their own slant on it. I was hoping more people would see it for what it is. It was just a true story on film. And it worked its way out just like it should. And if you followed it to the end, you'll see the hatred wasn't there. I know you guys were looking for the hatred. It was not there in that whole thing, that whole scenario. It truly was what it was. A person was out of control. We're not sure why. A person took the video. An officer came over and picked him up and took him to jail. The man will eventually be released if it's not already out. The one that took the video isn't pressing charges. You know, as far as he was concerned, it's all over. I think that if we all looked at a perspective from that standpoint, we could get along better in this world. We could actually get along with each other. Now, this thing may fester up and go again. We don't know. It could. But right now, at this point, nobody is out there making a drama thing out of it. It's not going to last 100 more videos. It's not going to be the subject for the next 100 weeks or 50 weeks, like the neighborhood dispute. It won't be that way. No, it's over and done. Now, how easy was that? Nobody really got hurt. Oh, well. I was hoping you'd learn some kind of a lesson off of that. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Like, small towns can settle things that way from time to time, and they don't need somebody like me from the outside to try to come in there and muddy the water for them. This whole thing was settled by the people that live there or in the general area, and they didn't need outside intervention. Outsiders did look at it, just like I did, and some of them give it a negative ring. Well, it's over and done with. But I will give you out a shout. Thomas, you handled the whole thing the way it should have been handled, and I'm glad you did. You're a big man for that. You can hang your hat on that, okay? I hope you do more good works like that. Well, thank you. And not only Thomas, the people involved in that too. I commend all of you. You handled the situation the way it should have been handled, and it's gone. What else are we going to talk about today? Oh, I don't have a whole lot for you. I'm sorry, other than trying to get you to come over and watch Super Dave and myself. Maybe it won't be quite as boring as what some of mine are. You know, the guys that, like the guy said, I talk in circles. My circle is just enclosed now. We don't want to rehash it, right? Maybe he was talking about something else. Maybe he didn't understand. It might be like that guy the other night, not understanding what intellectual intercourse is. He did see the word intercourse, I think, and it blew up his mind. Am I laughing? Oh boy, am I ever. Oh, you talk about yeah. He's an interesting individual, but that's his thing. I'm not gonna. You know, somebody came on my channel and give the word, you know, the dictionary explanation for it. And I probably should have, and I had intended on doing that and put it on here today, but it's on my channel and the answers of the video I put up yesterday. It was pretty simple, and it was never meant to be above somebody's wheelhouse. It was never meant that in any way. It was, in some circles, it's common to use words such as that, and there's nothing out of the bounds. It's just what it is. Intellectual. Do you know what an intellectual is? It can be a person. It can be the information that is given from one person to another. It's a description of information. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do it. Intercourse is between two people then. Okay, so if you're exchanging ideas and things between two of you, that is intellectual intercourse. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It would not be a reason to be called a troll that I'm aware of. But, you know, I haven't looked at the latest meaning of a troll. Have you? Apparently, there's more and more things that trolls do that I wasn't aware of. I'll have to be careful where I step. I don't want to get out in that pasture of cow chips and step on a soft one, do I? With that, hey, listen, if you can laugh about things instead of crying, you're probably better off and you're going to live a longer life. You got to have a forgiving nature sometimes. And Thomas, I wish everybody could act like you do sometimes. And I know people are going to come across here that don't particularly like the way you act, but I'm telling you, you handled that situation you had out there. You're a gentleman. Thank you so much. And lesson learned. For the rest of you, you have a good day out there. Come on back and watch the Super Dave and I, and we'll be there with a few words. Adios.